Welcome back to MJL 3764, collecting Elvis on vinyl. Today I thought we'd take a look at another 70s studio regular album. So let's pick one, and let's pick Promised Land. Promised Land was released in 1975 and reached number 21 in the UK album charts. When issued in the UK, it featured a fully laminated cover with an up-to-date photo of Elvis, probably one of the last up-to-date photos issued on the album cover in his lifetime. Songs were of course recorded in 1973. The photograph on the jacket was taken 1974 in supposedly Elvis's favourite jumpsuit, the peacock, and the album was issued in 1975. Features 10 tracks, as all the albums from the full album. Any regular studio album, the Colonel had signed Elvis up to a deal with RCA where he only had to submit 10 tracks per album. So from the full album up to Moody Blue, there was only 10 tracks on each regular studio album. As you can see, Elvis has put on a slight bit of weight, nothing too drastic. But fairly good cover, I thought. Backside in the UK looks like that. With ads for 4 Elvis albums. Based on Rock, Good Times, Live on Stage in Memphis, and the UK compilation Hits of the 70s, which replaced the US Having Fun with Elvis on Stage album, which we'll see later on. There's the 10 tracks. And the original issue is on the orange. In the UK, the album was repressed in 1977, looking very similar to the 75 release, but you can tell the difference. If you've got a 77 copy, it will just say side 1 and it will omit the stereo on the top. So that's the difference between the 75 release, which is this one, and the 77. In 79 it was issued again. This time they're going backwards. This is in a matte cover. Not my favourite glossy or laminated. Still got the same ads on the back. And it's on the blue Elvis label. It was issued again in 1982 on the new black RCA label, which is what I'm looking out for. And it was issued again in 83, 84 on the new German black. And this is my original copy. This was the first copy of the album that I owned. It was actually one of the last Elvis albums I bought to complete my collection up until that time. So I didn't have this album. Had all the tracks in some shape or form except one. Paid £9.49 for it in Virgin in the mid-80s. It's got a slightly different back cover now. It's glossy both sides, it's got the barcode, and it's now got ads for 6 Elvis albums. And that German release there. And the track that I didn't have, which I was looking forward to hearing, was Love Song of the Year. And was I disappointed? I must be honest, that is probably my least played Elvis 70s record. I really do not like it. I listened to it recently and I believe it's not so much Elvis, it's just the backing. The backing is just awful to me. You know, where they repeat the line that Elvis has just said, I just don't like it. But the rest of the album, favourite tracks for me, obviously his version of Promised Land, proves that Elvis could still rock in the 70s. I love the flip, It's Midnight. Fantastic record. Thinking About You I really like, You Asked Me To, Honky Tonk Angel, Yeah, very strong album. I do not know why Elvis's 70s albums get criticised. I think they're all pretty stellar albums, pretty solid. But Love Song of the Year, not really to my taste. And this was on the new German Black label. 2 American copies of the album now, both in the thick matte cardboard style covers. First one's on the orange, and as we said earlier, it features Having Fun with Elvis on Stage, different from the UK copy. And the album's on the Dynaflex on the orange, and it's got the nice inner sleeves, which I'm sure you've all seen before, which we didn't have in the UK. And the next copy is on the tan label. Same back side. And there's the tan label. There were 2 singles issued from this album. In fact, the first one was actually issued about 6 months before the album was released. So mid-1974, this single was released, If You Talk in Your Sleep, backed with Help Me. It reached number 40 in the UK singles chart. I've looked through my collection. At the moment, this is the only copy I seem to have of If You Talk in Your Sleep, Help Me single. I can't believe that. I'll have to have another look. I'm sure I must have another copy somewhere. So that was the first single. Second single, released just before the album was issued, was of course Promised Land. And this was available on an injection label like this, a solid, a 4-prong, etc. And the B-side of this was It's Midnight. And here's a solid of that single, and if you bought them early enough, originally this was listed on the label, It's Midnight and I Miss You. So if you got an early copy of the Promised Land single, you should have that printed on it. Later copies obviously just stated It's Midnight. So if you've got a copy of this single, flip it over and see if you've got an early version. So that's a nice one to have, that one. Also widely available in the UK at the time was this grey USA pressing. This was quite widely available in the UK at the time. This one, and the My Boy single was also quite easy to find in the UK on the grey label. And there's the flip. Now let's take a look at Promised Land on CD. My apologies, I should have also stated that Promised Land, the single, reached number 9 in the UK singles chart. This was also the first single I ever bought with my own money of Elvis's. So I was around 9 or 10 years old. This isn't the copy, I still do have it, but it doesn't look too good. I've written all over it. I was only 9 or 10. And I remember buying it in Woolworths, and it cost me, I believe it was 49 pence. So that was the first single I ever bought of Elvis. Now onto the CDs. First CD I bought of this album was in 1991. Looking like this. Back side. Of course, it's been issued on the box sets. The album's box set and the 60th anniversary box set. So you all know it's on this release as well. Elvis at Stax, whole album's on here. with some outtakes, alternatives, etc. Very good release if you can get it. 3 CDs. Great booklet. Very fine release. Still available. And of course, it's been given the FTD treatment in their classic album series. Nice booklet. Nice double CD. Featuring lots of alternative takes. Great release. Now, if you'd like to hear Promised Land take 3 and 4, I'll put a description in the link below, and I'll put a link at the end of this video, because I did make a video. I didn't realise how long ago it was. This actually come out in December 2011, this FTD, and that's when I made the video. So if you'd like to hear what this sounds like, and it's in great quality, if you'd like to hear take 3 and 4 of Promised Land, just wait for the video to end and just click the next video, which will be advertised. So that's Promised Land. So until the next time, just remember, what is music? Life's no waste.